This is me with 0 nights, no classes, and no achievements. And today I am going to be attempting to survive and speedrun 100 days in 99 nights in the forest. Watch till the end because it gets extremely intense. But before all that, I had to watch a YouTube tutorial because I don't know anything about this game.
And what to get. Make sure to select the correct one for your current situation. But obviously the good bed comes first because it gives you answers.
I loaded into the game with 2 other people, Pokimane and Zol. This day was just pretty much a speedrun of cutting down trees, and I found an old flashlight that can be used to make sure the deer doesn't chase me. Since we managed to get the campfire to level 3 very fast, I immediately left camp and started searching for loot. I came back with a few scraps just when it became night, and the deer was standing there. I then found the best thing for day 1. A good axe, and ended it off with more tree chopping. On day 2, I had a wolf pelt and a rabbit's foot, which meant 2 free OP stuff. I decided to get the good sack since I already had a good axe. I don't know why, I forgot about the wolf pelt though. I immediately started looting when out of nowhere the best player who had the most amount of nights had left out of nowhere. Anyways, back to looting. While looting, I found 2 spears and gave one to my teammate Pokimane, and when I unpacked in camp, I finally traded in the pelt for a revolver, allowing me to save the first child, and I got geared up, but you know, it got dark, and the deer had finally awoken.
Oh my goodness, we got the deer so early?
Since the first kid was extremely close, I decided to rescue them first. I got really low, but I managed to get in, rescuing the child and creating a bed, making the day multiplier 3 times. Also comment W Pokimane down below for building us our walls in the base. Now on day 6 is the night the cultists attack. Now if you don't know what the cultists are, they are basically your enemies that attack your base every 6 days while the deer is outside your camp. And I continued looting around, and here are some OP stuff I found. Finally, the sun had set. The deer had appeared and the cultists were here. And not gonna lie, they were kind of
Underwhelming.
There were just 5 of them and we weren't even forced to leave camp. Day 9 rolled around and I stumbled across a furniture merchant and a good sack which I brought to my teammate. Explored around to find an alpha wolf for its pelt. Then night arrived very fast. Only managed to grab a few logs for our camp when out of nowhere, Pokimane just decides to leave. The owl also wakes up at this time, making the situation more intense.
You can get the owl.
Day 12 arrived, and to start it off, I immediately started searching for the second kid, but got distracted. And hey, I got a rifle, so it wasn't all that bad. Bad part was I wasn't able to find the dungeon holding the kid, probably because I never built a compass. So night quickly arrived, and of course, being a new player means I would be scared of the nighttime, you know, because of the deer or the owl. When I got back to base, I built a good bed, meaning we now have a 4 times night multiplier. When finally, Pokimane finally decides to come back to the server, and I revived her with the bandage she dropped. Now I found an abandoned mine that had a diamond on it and a bunch of gold. Finally found the kids dungeon on the way though, and slowly started picking the alpha wolves one by one, and got the kid. Found 2 gas canisters on the way out and made my way back to base. Got some wood, made the fire level 4.
Yes sir, yes sir.
And didn't notice, but we never built a regular bed until now. With that, our multiplier is now 6 times because of the kid and the bed. Today would be the day the cultists attack, and the pelt traders' arrival. And of course, Pokimane died again. Since I didn't have a medkit or a bandage, this challenge just got a whole lot harder. Since there was a cultist outpost nearby, I decided to raid it in the hopes of a medkit or a bandage, but I kind of ran out of time. The cultists were coming and I had to get back to base. And thanks to the shelves, I had a bit of an advantage against the cultists and easily took them down. As soon as the sun rose, I immediately went back to the outpost and started searching for a bandage and sadly found nothing. I noticed a message log popped out and it said it's raining again. The fire was already low on fuel, and if I didn't make it stronger, my protection in nighttime would disappear and I would be attacked by pretty much everything. But I was so focused on bandages, googling where to find it and how I can find it. After a while, I finally realized that the fire was getting low and started cutting down trees just to find the wood was wet, meaning the rain had to stop for it to be used as fuel. The fuel was getting extremely low and an intense waiting had ensued. Luckily, the rain ended in time. I was able to drop a few logs. Of course, as soon as the sun rose, I left naively, not caring about the fuel of the camp. I found what I thought was a church, but was actually just a stronghold. And I went back to base with nothing much, and the campfire at 2 out of 100, not to mention the deer being hungry. And I immediately got it back to 6 fuel and luckily survived the night.
Future me here. My voice is gonna sound weird from here on out because the voiceover kind of corrupted, but that's fine if you guys want to. And also, just a little thing, the way to get the 300 Robux, the channel get rolls over here, and then you sign up for the giveaway. You have to like this video and subscribe. You have to have it post notifications on. I immediately found some coal and started keeping an eye on the base, particularly since we will be raided tonight. Not much happened in the day, but then it became night. There were 3 crossbow cultists.
They got me on red bar health immediately. I had to run around to not get shot. I knew I had to take them out first, but I was having a hard time due to the ones with spears. I missed a lot of my shots. The sun had even risen, and yet the battle hadn't finished.
I finally managed to take down all of the cultists, and I went out exploring as you'd expect, when suddenly the game announces that the campfire was dying.
Then it immediately got extinguished. I hurriedly picked up a coal I had found and looked for it more desperately since nighttime was coming, and I had to run back as soon as possible and got it to 6 fuel. I finally discovered the biofuel, but is it too late to craft it when I barely have materials? The fire is too low and I have to place all of my hope on the fact that the tree I have nearby are enough. It's at 0 fuel and will die at any second, and I have to add fuel now. The campfire had died out. There's 10 seconds before dawn breaks and I have to hold out. All I can do now is juke out the deer.
I immediately started chopping down trees to hopefully start up the campfire as soon as possible. But it's not enough, so I need to find other fuel sources in order to light it up. I explored the volcano biome as much as possible to try and find gasoline. I found a fuel canister, but it's not enough when I suddenly found the church we had been looking for. But there are too many cultists, meaning I'll have to come back, but I desperately needed my teammate now. I decided to retreat because night is near, but it got really dark really fast. It's a race against time, and I quickly lit up the campfire just in time and barely managed to survive. I have to maintain the campfire, but there is still 40 seconds to the night and only 2 out of 100 fuel left, meaning the campfire dies again. I immediately ran towards the church and I just need to revive my teammate. I started shooting down to take down the cultists that are guarding the church, and I need to get that bandage now. I lure one of them out to hopefully spear them, but I don't realize that my HP is really low, and I got one-shotted. I had died on the halfway point of the 100 days. With that, I realized that no matter how well you search up tutorials to hopefully know some stuff about the game as a new player, you can't survive alone. Anyways, if you guys didn't see the clue that I hid, make sure to check on like this timeline that I'm showing on the screen, and yeah, don't forget to like, subscribe. Peace out.